Alright, welcome back to another Mech Lab Monday. Today we're going to be looking at the Zeus X, or Zeux. Now, Zeus X's come with a lot of built-in interesting components. The fire control system gives +1 accuracy and -1 recoil, as well as 10% improved called shot. The cockpit gives +1 initiative, but more importantly gives -10% damage taken. The prototype command computer gives sight sensor and initiative to the whole lance, in addition to the bonus of 2 to sensor detection, and the fog of war staying revealed around the unit. So this is a really good frontline mech so that you can get in close and then give your long-range mechs vision and sensors, and just generally it's a good time. And the cased reactive plating gives 30% resistance to ballistic and missile attacks and -10% to energy-based attacks, which, thanks to the cockpit giving -10% damage taken, means you're actually getting 40% resistance to ballistic and missile attacks and no penalty against energy attacks. So with that in mind, we want this to be a frontline build. And to that end, we are going to look at a larger engine core. So it's an 80-ton mech. So the breakpoints are going to be 80, 160, 240, 320, and 400. And we do not have a 400 core, but we have a 390. And I'd rather actually just put a supercharger and mask in it. So we are actually going to go with the 320, which gives us a respectable 4.6. However, we are going to definitely add in, where is it? Yeah, I don't often use, I just brute force it and scroll through most of the time. There we go. So we're going to toss a mask and a supercharger in here. So that is now, whenever those are active, I believe it's going to be 4. So each one of them adds 50%. So that would make that into a 410, 412, something like that. In any case, it's going to go fast. And with the hard points we have 2 missile hard points and a ballistic hard point on the arms. So let's start there. We want the ballistic to be something big. Or maybe we go ultra. Maybe an ultra AC-10. We got plenty of tonnage for it, so we'll worry about tonnage after a little bit. But first, let's just kind of figure out what weapons we're going for. So UAC-10 is going to be max range 720, and it's going to be 120 damage per alpha strike. And then for the missile options, again, we're wanting to be a frontliner, so we don't want anything with a minimum range, like the LRM-15's standard inner sphere versions would have a minimum range, and we want to get in close. So I'm thinking maybe some big LRMs, clan LRMs, or maybe IATMs. Now let's go for LRMs. That'll also let us fire initially and do some damage before we get closer. Well, yeah, altogether it's gonna be a mid to long range engagement that, as you get closer, you just get more accurate. So we have it moving fast. We have respectable damage already. And before we figure out any more weapons, we're obviously going to want ammo for each of those. So UAC-10 double bin, that will give us 10 alpha strikes. And the LRMs, we're not going to be able to use Artemis because we want to keep the fire control system we have. So we'll definitely want some LK, and that is 3 shots per bin of ammo. So there's 6 shots of LK, Throw in a bin of mag pulse. I mean, we could go augmented thunder. That's, I mean, 40 mines, 4 mine damage per. I mean, it's not the best. We would really want a LRM boat to take advantage of thunder LRMs. Swarm's pretty good. The improved does 3 area of effect damage as compared to the regular Swarm's 2. But it does have a negative critical hit chance. I mean, we could also go with Deadfire for whenever we have a really good short-range shot. We're not going to want to take too much Deadfire because we're probably not going to use it unless we have like an incredible hit chance already. And we could go with Incendiary. I mean, 40 heat's nothing to mess with. So, just a general toolbox here. So that's 3, 6, 9, 12, 15. So it would take 15 rounds for us to run out of ammo. That's respectable. Okay, so now that we've got our base armaments, we'll go get... we don't want to use armor because we already have the built-in armor. Oh, and also it's cased, so we don't have to worry about ammo explosions. Throw in some Clan Indo and a Clan XL engine, and there's plenty of tonnage already, but we also can include, well, since it's a short-range mech, I think I'm going to throw defensive gyro in. Obviously a defensive gyro plus or double plus would be better, but this mech is meant to soak damage and get shot at a lot. So defensive gyro is definitely a good choice. Now we have about 8 tons left. And all we really need now is cooling and weapons. So let's start with cooling and give it a... Let's see, we got +2 heatsink capacity engine. Let's see, we got 61 Alpha Strike right now, so double heat sinks would completely cover that. We have 2 energy hard points and 3 support hard points left. So let's throw in a couple AMS Mark IIs. And of course ammo for the AMS. 2 bins should be more than enough. That's 400 shots. While overloaded, each one fires 40 shots per activation, so that's 80 per activation. 80, 160, so 2.5 activations per bin of ammo. That's not a lot. So let's add in a good bit of ammo. So again, we could go for more damage with this build, but the AMS Mark IIs should be able to tear through any missile fire for your allies. Any missile fire that gets through against the Zeus X is going to be reduced. So Intersphere LRMs are going to be reduced by 40%, which is going to drop the 5 damage down to 2 because of rounding. And likewise, Clan LRMs are going to be reduced from 4 damage down to 2. So even if the missiles get through, they're not going to do much to the Zeus himself. But that's why the AMS Mark II is going to be used, so that it can also shred missiles flying for allies. Now then, we have plenty set up there. Weapons, we can actually use medium lasers because we are going to be at close range. So, with the heat efficiency where it's at, we would actually want a little bit more cooling. So, I mean, we could go with good accuracy and good damage for little heat. And finally, all we need to do is manage the heat. So, throw in a double heat sink kit because we're at 83. We're at 83 because of the lasers. And then the AMS, while they activate, are going to generate heat as well. So maybe we just drop the lasers and make it more of a support build. Which, as a solo drop while I'm testing it, is going to be a little counterproductive. But at the same time, it's going to be able to survive for a while. Another concern is that after 10 rounds, the UAC is going to be out of ammo. And after 15 rounds, the LRM-20s are going to be completely out of ammo. But they only really have 9 rounds worth of high damage. So, keep in mind that the AMS Mark II would be good for if you're running a full lance, but just for the purposes of this test, I'm actually going to drop the AMSs. Now keep in mind, once you run out of ammo, you can still punch, and it's an 80-ton mech, so its melee is actually very respectable. However, yeah, in case we need to put more than just the 2 engine heat sinks. Engine heat sink +2. And now, because we dropped the AMSs, we actually have the tonnage for a large laser. So we can drop a large laser in the center torso. So our cooling is now 106 versus 72. Not great. But there is an exchanger. Oh, internals. That. Where is it? You know what, I'll just do it the way I know. So, exchanger double plus would be 9181. Exchanger clan instead would be 9687. So, heat delta of 9 versus a heat delta of 10. So, the clan exchanger is slightly better in this build. Although if we add in one more medium laser, which we might, then the exchanger double plus might be better. So if we do add in the one medium laser, it's now clan exchanger is a heat delta of 19 versus the double plus at 19. Okay, so yeah, let's just go with the clan exchanger. Alright, so we have a heat delta of 19. Now obviously you could just turn off weapons to, you know, conserve ammo and heat if you don't need them. But we're going to try to include a couple more heat sinks. Well, then again, if we do that, we're over tonnage. We'd have to drop armor or ammo or something. Well, we're only over by 1 ton. But we still have a heat delta of 7, so dropping the medium laser, we are now overcooling slightly, which is great. Hot environments won't be a trouble for us. And drop a teeny bit of back armor. Yep, there we go. So that's a build. When you have them, it's always good to include... There we go. AMS or advanced optics if you have them. One thing to note is the combat shields would be amazing with the defense that it already has, except it doesn't have hands. So if it had hands, that would be awesome, but it does not, sadly. So you work with what you're given. It is still, especially whenever you're vigilanced or if you're otherwise bracing, you take very little damage from missile and ballistic. Energy you still have to be worried about, but you also have considerable armor, so it doesn't really impact things that much. Like, it can soak a ton of damage before it goes down. And actually, I think I might also drop a little bit of back armor in exchange for leg armor. Something like that. There we go. Yeah, that looks good to me. So let's I know this was very quick because you don't have to consider any of the head components when you're just using the defaults. Although I will look for gunnery support B and, oh no, actually piloting would be better so that we can use the mask and supercharger more effectively. So piloting support A, piloting support B, so the mask and supercharger can stay on longer, allowing us to reposition better. And again, keep in mind you can drop the large laser, put in the AMS Mark IIs, and yes, the build is, as far as I'm concerned, complete. Let's go see how it runs. Alright, so whenever you're looking for a pilot for a Zeus X, especially one like the one we built, you mostly want to look at its weapon systems and keep in mind that if you have anything like an ultra autocannon, lucky is always going to be good, just to mitigate the jam chance a little bit and increase the clustering, which is also good for the LRMs. Mechwarrior Mechwarrior is plus initiative, which is always good, but military is going to completely mitigate the recoil from the ultra autocannon in combination with the fire control that's built into the Zeus X. So, what that means is we do not need to worry about recoil anymore. If you had put something like a rotary autocannon in, which is entirely viable, actually, would I rather put a rotary autocannon in? Well, we'll leave it with the ultra autocannon, but a rotary autocannon is also an option to take further advantage of the -1 recoil perk. Command experience or anything else that increases resolve, morale, sensors, etc. is also good on a Zeus X because it just synergizes so well with the sensors that the Zeus X has. And then I personally like whenever I'm using a mech that has primarily ammunition-based weapons to have Solaris Gladiator because it's nice once you run out of ammo and you're literally punching and kicking every turn to have that little bit of a bonus. So as far as skills go, we have a massive number of LRMs, and we also have the double tap from the Ultra Autocannon. So the clustering roll and crit strike is definitely great, especially since the recoil is completely handled by the military trait and the cockpit, the fire control system that the Zeus X has. And as far as secondary, I'm actually going to go with hard case because it's hopefully going to be soaking a lot of damage on the front lines, and reducing the stability damage you take keeps you from being knocked unsteady. Another option, obviously, is to go with cautious to also manage stability. But honestly, vigilance combined with hard case is especially good late game. And if you have a Zeus X that's kitted out, you're probably late game. So hard case, that way whenever you take your turn, you can vigilance to drop any stability you have, or just walk. And yes, that's benefit. Piloting is super important when you're running a mask and supercharger. And then gunnery and tactics to hit better. And for the secondary, we are going to go with Warlord, because the +10 clustering roll is going to be very effective with the 2 LRM-20s we have. And again, if you went with something like a rack build instead of the LRM Ultra Autocannon build, you could go with Controlled Burst, which would also allow you to, drop a heat sink, bring a medium laser, whatever. But basically a build that the recoil is completely mitigated by the Mech and the Mechwarrior, you're allowed to go, you're able to go Bandit and Warlord for the clustering. Because altogether on your Warlord turns, that's going to be +16 clustering. And since she also has Lucky, that's +18 clustering. So the missiles are highly likely to hit the same component or the same location, which is obviously very good. So we're going to confirm that. We're going to head into, not the mech bay, the command center. And we do not have any 3 skull recoveries or anything. But the Zeus X takes so little damage. Maybe we do drop on a 4 skull battle. Yeah, sure. 4 skull against pirates. What's the worst that'll happen? Alright, here we go. I'm going to have to go back and look over the affinities. Because I keep forgetting. I need to look at the affinities before I start building. Because once I finish building, I'm so eager to just jump into a battle. Okay, so we have enemies here, which means we do not want to drop on the other side of this chasm. We want to get in close. So to that end, okay, maybe there's reinforcements too. Yeah, I'll take the high ground and cover initially. So cover and braced on the first round, plus the built-in 40% damage to, or 40% resistance to missile and ballistic weapons. And there's a visual bug. Oh well. So the 40% damage. Ooh, thermo. Oh, it's pirates. It's pirates. I forgot pirates on test runs is bad. In any case, if they were shooting me from the front, the cover plus guarded is 40%, and then the missile and ballistic weapons would be further 40% reduced, so I would be taking 1 damage per missile.
I'm here.
But since I'm overheating and yeah, I'll stay in cover, but I'll turn around so they're not shooting me in the back. Hopefully I can shake the stability and then next turn sprint. Oof, that's a Nidhogg. Go ahead and see if I can take down the Cascatel. 34, 54, 34, 34, 40, 47. Oh, because it's shooting it in the back. What does the heat look like? Drop that to incendiary. Yeah, incendiary for the extra damage. It's not going to take much to take this thing down. I say that. 282 damage. Well, I mean, we've got it if everything hits. You know what? I'll save Warlord for next turn.
All weapons are go.
Alright, got a little bit of AMS there. So the Cascatella should be able to bring down next turn. And you can see we're sinking the heat pretty well. I'm looking forward to getting that supercharger and mask running so that we can actually sprint and get some good evasion going. But yeah, we're not taking too terribly much damage considering what we're getting shot at with. Here comes the Battle Master. Alright, I'll take it. Ooh, that's a big laser. Not sure exactly which kind of laser that is, but it's something nasty. And again, 2 damage per missile, so able to soak an incredible amount of damage from missiles. We just need to make sure we take out energy weapon sources. Oof. Is that the Nidhogg? Or... here's the Nidhogg. So what's shooting those incendiary missiles at me? Is it this carrier, maybe? Well, we'll see how we manage despite the crazy amount of heat we're getting hit with. Okay, so that must be rockets,
Getting
which
bent
are,
out
I
of your
believe,
butt.
8 damage base. Okay. Are we gonna get knocked down? Oof. Yeah, maybe 4 skull was a little much. Maybe 4 skull was a little bit much. Yep. Well, at least we'll have a chance to go over affinities this time. Ooh. Yeah, that's exactly the kind of thing that the Zeus X is not good against, is a 110 damage laser. That didn't take long. Okay, so first off, let's look at the affinities. So, Dreadnought, number 20 affinity, is minus 20% stability damage taken and 5% damage resist, which is, again, amazing for a frontliner. And then the 40 is plus 1 Lance Resolve and plus 1 Lance Initiative, which, I mean, it lets you Vigilance more often, so there's that. But, yeah, based on that 4 Skull mission, I'm actually going to go with the AMS build, because even though we take reduced damage whenever we're getting hit by missiles, just not getting hit by as many missiles will help sprint more. Is 3 enough? Because it was 80 per, yeah, 80 per activation if they're both shooting. So that's 2.5, 5, 7.5 activations. And the heat, I mean, the heat's good. Yeah, the heat's good with the 2 engine heat sinks. So yeah, we might as well use the ammo. I mean, actually, we don't even need the 2 engine heat sinks if we're not running the lasers, because with the exchanger, which means we can use those 2 tons for lasers. How much heat do we have? We have 20 available. So with the exchanger reducing the amount of heat they generate, there we go. Perfect heat. And the medium lasers together is 50 damage as compared to the large 55. So it's a shorter range, but again, with the mask and supercharger, we're getting in there. Like, we're gonna get in there close. So the extra range doesn't really matter. So it ends up being a comparable damage build, but now we also have the AMS Mark II. So again, frontline, good, tanky. Let's do this. And I think once it's ready, we're going to attack the Word of Blake with a capture base. We'll try that. Hopefully the capture base Word of Blake mission will not will not be quite as rough, but yeah, let's do this. Alright, so 4 Skull capture base mission. We again, as I say every episode, we're not trying to win here. We're just trying to show off the mech. We definitely want to drop in cover, and there are either defenders or turrets or both. So I think we will drop on this slight high ground in the cover. Please don't be facing away from them.
Good to go, Commander.
Okay, good.
Here we go.
So we indeed have turrets, and I do not see any defenders yet. But I think something was just moving. Okay.
Commander?
I don't know what's going on with the turn order, but we'll kick on the supercharger and mask. We will sprint for... I really wish I could get cover and 4. I mean, I can get cover in 3. Let's go cover in 3 then. Oops. Let's see, which turret do I want to focus? Oh, turn the AMS to overload. Missiles, 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 and energy, but they're yellow energy, so maybe laser AMS or tags, and then ballistic. Alright, 240 armor, 240 armor, 320, and 400. We should be able to take the turrets down solo. Let's go incendiary for the slightly higher damage. Alright. And now they get to go. AMS doing AMS things. So 10 from 10 hit by AMS. 19 from 30 hit by AMS. Gauss missing. And 22 from 40 hit by AMS.
Standing by.
Zeus X used the AMS and it was super effective. So yeah, we'll continue on the turret we already did. We already hit. Yeah, I know about the turrets, Darius. And it did say reinforcements are coming. But this should be a dead turret. Yeah, that's a dead turret. Next up, we're going to focus the Gauss emplacement now that we're closer to it. Because I don't want that hitting. Okay, so one of the energy support weapons is a barrage. But I'm pretty sure that missed. Yeah, AMS doing AMS things. It's beautiful. Alright, so it looks like the heavy turret chassis has 2 LRM-20s. We will once again sprint.
Acknowledged.
And both AMSs are jammed. That's not great. We could build up heat, and actually I think we will. Last shot of incendiary LRMs. Probably should have gone Warlord there. I figured I had a good enough hit chance, but if the other autocannon round would have hit, it probably would have blown.
My LRMs are out.
So again, each ammo type other than LK we have 3 shots with. And I'd rather save the LK for targets that move. Alright. And here we go, destroying the Gauss emplacement. We got 20% on the supercharger, so we'll kick it off. Our heat is also a problem. Honestly, can I get 1 evasion if I turn the mask off too? Yes, I can. But it's not with cover. Yeah, I'll keep the mask on so I can get cover and 1 evasion. Alright.
Quick stepping it.
So, finish off the Gauss emplacement. And I think I'll actually save some heat and ammo by not firing the LRM-20s. Because I don't want to use Deadfire or LRM whenever it's almost dead. Then again, do I have enough damage without the LRMs? Yeah, I think I'll save the heat. Yeah, I had the damage. Good.
Enemy eliminated.
Firing indirectly against AMS. 11 from 40 hit. And 9 from 9 hit. So AMS doing work. Behind me? Of course it's behind me.
Commander?
Okay. So I'm going to turn off the mask. Move. Oh, come on. Move for 1 and cover to drop stability. Yeah, I think I'm going to hit the heavy turret chassis. LK is 4, Deadfire is 6, EMP is 3. Am I going to be able to, I don't think I'm going to be able to kill it this turn, so I'm actually going to use the Mag Pulse, because it does almost or almost the same amount of damage, but it also scrambles, so I'm less likely to be hit. Alright, here come the new enemies. Timberwolf, Centurion, Ostrock, and a question mark mech. Okay, so that thing has a lot of energy weapons. It's my first priority. But it's also hot. So I should probably hit it with Mag Pulse. Ah, it's a champion, okay. Also energy. Alright. But yeah, I think I'm actually going to ignore the turrets for now since they're pretty much all missile. And I take reduced damage from missile. And I have AMS. And I'm going to focus fire on the Timberwolf and the champion, I think. So, pretty sure that was an AC 10 and it only dealt 30 damage. Ew. Inferno. Okay, that needs to go too. Oof.
I'm under heavy fire.
Well, things were going well. I mean, you can see still how much fire this thing's drawing and surviving.
It's go time.
Alright. Champion missing. That's good.
I'm here.
Alright, so I can crawl. I am going to Vigilance to drop that stability and also to get the guarded. See what the Supercharger and Mask can do for me. I can get 1 evasion. Oof. Yeah, this heat is a problem. Alright.
Double time.
Oops.
Let's go.
Do our best. So yeah, the Long Tom. Oof. Long Tom. I'm actually going to use LK for the best hit chance possible. Definitely Warlord. And with any luck, how much armor does that thing have? Oh, she's on a shutdown.
Shutting down. Heat level is pegged.
Okay. Wait, do they not have sensors on me because I shut down? Ooh. Well, this is almost over. But hey, at least it's been a great example of exactly how much fire the Zeus X can take. Yeah, the Long Tom has so much armor too. And as long as he's dropping Inferno on me, I can't do anything. I absolutely can't do anything.
I'm hit.
Wait a second. That just did 60... That did 60 damage. does the damage reduction from the armor and cockpit just not apply if you're shut down? That's weird. In any case, great demonstration of exactly how much firepower it can take. And I'm going to call that the end of this episode of Mech Lab Monday. So, moving forward, I'm definitely going to move to a lower skull planet and have better demonstrations moving forward. In any case, until next week, have a good one.